How's it going? My name is Justin. Thanks for being here today. So everyone's been to high school before, but just imagine going to high school where your first 2 hours a day, you're able to freely move around a part of the campus, going in between classrooms with a variety of different learning resources and studying your free classes at your own pace. My short talk today is going to be on the topic of online learning when it comes to college and grade school as well. It's based on a short interview that I had with a guy named Tom Simon, the managing director of an online learning resource for college students, or high school students actually, called Connection Academy. I talked with Simon briefly via email and asked him some questions based on trends in college as far as the online enrollment, how that's been, high school, the trend of online high school programs that are emerging, and the overall trend of online learning in all of grade school as a whole. After this interview and some self-research, I came to the conclusion that online learning and emerging tools that kids are using are going to be really useful in the future for all of education, specifically grade school. So just to give a brief overview of the trend that I talked about in online college enrollment that I talked about with Mr. Simon. In the past 5 years, enrollment has been steadily increasing in online courses by 2% annually. Of the overall 21 million college students in the US, about 20% was either a full-time online student or at least took part in one college class online. Mr. Simon noted that he believes that this trend is going to continue to increase over the next decade or so. And obviously it won't replace in-class learning, but due to its accessibility, the wide variety of classes that are being offered, and the general affordability of some of these programs, more people are going to be going back to school or being able to go to school with this stuff. Also, online schooling is a little different than in-class schooling, where it requires a higher level of self-teaching oneself, and that generally can help to promote students' greater self-discipline and motivation, which can be used in learning overall. So that was college. We all know how online learning has kind of shaped college a little bit in these days. What about high school? Are there any high schoolers that are taking classes online? And coming to find out, the answer is yes. Actually, 30 states are offering public high school diplomas completely online. Actually, this Connection Academy, where my interview works at, is an organization that helps parents and their high school students find these sort of programs in their respective state. And actually today there are about 350,000 college students, high school students, going to school completely online. And just talk with him about a couple of these, how he feels about that, and obviously he's kind of for it, being that he works at the Connection Academy, and he sees greater enrollment in this sort of virtual schooling in the future. He did note that just like in college, the skill to teach yourself this curriculum will generally, in his opinion, better prepare the students for higher education and learning throughout life. Polls that I have researched online show that majority of American parents do support or open to the idea of having some high school courses be taken online. So the last two questions that I was talking with, that I asked Mr. Simon about, had to do with actually the earlier grades in grade school, earlier years. Yes, middle school that is. And I know some people would say that's a little too early for having kids take classes online versus going to school, and that's not exactly what I'm suggesting. I guess the online learning will kind of just be integrated into the curriculum and everything that kids will be doing. It's going to be more of a supplement to their learning at school. We've all seen that the rise of smart devices in the classroom has been a pretty significant change, and it's foreseeable that students even that young could be carrying around a tablet and downloading their textbooks all on just one device versus carrying 3 to 4 heavy textbooks in the backpack to room per day. Some kids are probably doing that. And also, it is foreseeable that even kids ages 11 to 14, that young, can start learning how to use online portals to receive and send documents electronically. And although some teachers would probably advocate that they prefer to see the students organize things in a physical binder and folders. My interviewee stated that having to organize things electronically would may come with the benefit that it might promote kids to be more proactive in their organization every day. So they get that cognitive map of their electronic folders and everything like that. So this concludes my little talk and everything. I briefly interviewed my Mr. Simon about, and we've seen that obviously in college that online learning has revolutionized and changed the way we look at school these days, and even we just heard that online high school is becoming a real thing. In the future, online learning courses and just supplemental resources will help due to its accessibility, and the value of teaching our kids to teach themselves will help transition some school time or going from traditional text and in-class instruction to kids being able to teach themselves and spend more of their time in school focusing on the practical application of what they're learning. So